In Stock Monarchy, each player will embody the absolute monarch of a small kingdom listed on the stock market. The competition will be no holds barred, and only those who can juggle technology, warfare, and trade to make their kingdom excel in the stock market will win. The challenge takes place in the Stock States, a wealthy empire with a peculiar form of government, the Stock Monarchy. The supreme ruler of the states acts as an absolute monarch, but his election and tenure in office depend on the satisfaction of the shareholders, who are the true masters of the nation. In the Stock States, it is time to appoint a new supreme sovereign, and as per tradition, the coronation challenge is held to discover, among the members of the richest houses, the most talented person to be entrusted with the prestigious post. The challenge will take place on one of the many uncivilized islands at the edge of the empire. The island is inhabited by Matoks, somewhat obtuse and naive creatures with a very basic lifestyle. Matoks can quite discern between good and evil, and are therefore easy to manipulate or to corrupt. They are not to be entrusted with complex tasks, but they are excellent at following simple instructions and will comply with whatever command in exchange for a few shiny coins. Each participant will be entrusted with a realm of equal size, and all contenders will have 3 months, or 3 rounds of play, to show their strategic and leadership skills, but most importantly, to inflate the pockets of shareholders with cash. Indeed, the coronation challenge will be won by the player who manages to outperform the others on the stock market and skyrocket the value of their shares. First off, the island is created according to the number of players. Place taxes on the towns and villages, place gold nuggets on the mountains, place white apples on the flatlands, and roll a die randomly to decide what to place on the hills. Stock Monarchy is perfectly balanced for matches between 2 to 6 players because all game components scale proportionately to the number of players. In addition, the setup allows ever-changing games to be played. Just with the basic box, an incredible number of different island combinations can be played. For example, in a 2-player game, it is possible to create over 2 billion different maps. In a 4-player game, over 1 trillion combinations are available, not to mention the variable setup of natural resources and know-how tokens. Once the island is created, the starting territory auction is held, during which players compete to win the best spot from which to bring the realm to life. For example, in this case, red will start on this side of the island, blue on this side, and green on this side. After the starting zones for each kingdom have been assigned, players turn a Matok city into their capital, create their own port, and choose a Matok village to take control of. During the game rounds, the actual challenge will take place. Players, turn by turn, must plan and implement their strategy by issuing orders to the spy and Matoks in the realm. This is done through the 14 command cards, which on the one hand allow players to move the spy and, on the other, allow them to perform actions with the Matoks. The main game mechanism is quite simple. At each new turn, all players simultaneously choose one of their cards and play it face down in front of them, that is, with the spy side facing up. After that, they place up to a maximum of 3 Matoks under the container. The chosen card indicates what action you want the Matoks to perform. For example, this card allows either to build a new factory or to reactivate an exhausted one by discarding an additional Matok taken from behind the screen. Therefore, if Blue wishes, he could in this case build 2 new factories using the 2 Matoks he selected. The Matoks used to activate the card must be discarded and will no longer be available for this round. Money can also be placed under the container to change the turn order. Simply by going from the person who bid the most to the person who bid the least, each person decides their new position in the turn order, without changing the position of the person who preceded them. Each player's cards have an always equal side on which the spy of their color is depicted. During each round of play, after the card has been chosen and before it is revealed, each player can decide to use their spy to have it perform one of the actions that are listed on the card. At the beginning of each round, each player receives a number of Matoks. This number depends on the size of their kingdom. The Matoks that each kingdom controls at the beginning of the round are placed behind the player's screen, and during the rounds, these Matoks will be sent out to accomplish tasks. The round ends when all the kingdoms have run out of Matoks behind their screens. The game consists of 3 rounds, after which comes the endgame. During the endgame, profits are distributed to shareholders. Each kingdom uses its ingots, the revenue from the sale of white whiskey, and guilties earned during the game to pay dividends to the shareholders and thus raise the value of the shares. The player who has most increased the value of their kingdom's stock is declared the winner of the Coronation Challenge and the new supreme sovereign of the stock states. Stock Monarchy can be played in 3 difficulty levels: light, medium, and full. Each version of the game has a different flavor and can be fun and exciting in its own peculiar way. Furthermore, between the various difficulty levels, the degree of complexity and interaction vary, and so do the opening, mid-game, and endgame strategies.